Good morning. Full confession, I got home after 2 o'clock last night. I was working, I was not carousing. Although some people would call it the same thing. When you play music for a living, that's okay. So, I'm going to try to wake you up and myself at the same time here. I used to walk through this world, cautious and oh so serious, till the life I was living was nearly a near-death experience. But I changed my story when I finally saw where I wasn't where it was at. And now I'm alive, I let destiny drive, and I'm stretching out in the back. If I lose my job, I'll sleep till noon, and if the news is bad, I'll watch cartoons, and if my house burns down, I'll have lots more room and a much better view of the moon. In the vastness of space, the ever-expanding universe, we are all puny specks of galactic dust here on Mother Earth. Now, I ain't no preacher, don't know if I'll reach you, but here is some humble advice. Use your uncommon sense and you surely will lead an uncommonly sensible life. If you lose your job, sleep till noon, and if the news is bad, watch cartoons, and if your house burns down, you'll have lots more room and a much better view of the moon. Now, I ain't no preacher, don't know if I'll reach you, but here is my humble advice. Use your uncommon sense and you surely will lead an uncommonly sensible life. If you lose your job, sleep till noon, and if the news is bad, watch cartoons, and if your house burns down, you'll have lots more room and a much better view of the moon. A much better view of the moon. Yes, a much better view of the moon. Morning.
Well, that woke me up.
Good.
Okay, just good. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Woodstock. We're so glad to see all of you. So glad that you're here. My name is Tina McDonald, and I will be your platform assistant today. Our guest speaker today will be Dr. Eric Pearl. Dr. Pearl will be talking about the transcending the duality of treatment into the oneness of healing. This talk invites a shift in understanding from the managing conditions to recognizing the underlying unity in which healing naturally occurs, expanding what is possible beyond symptom-based approaches. Can't wait. And I'm going to steal a moment, and I'm just going to say, if you didn't know, Dr. Eric Pearl has written a book about a lot of this material. And I've only started it, so I can't comment too much, but I'm loving it, and I'm riveted. So, just a little plug. Had to do it, sorry. Okay. Unity Spiritual Center of Woodstock and Unity Worldwide is living a life that is more spiritual than religious. This means that we believe there is a Christ presence in you that is available and capable of guiding you on your unique path. Unity respects all religions and does not discourage any practice that supports your best and highest expressions. We do not insist on any type of action or ritual to accomplish the goals of experiencing your divine nature. We just provide the tools that may assist you in listening for it. Let's start with a prayer. Divine Spirit, we are truly grateful for this beautiful day. We send our love and appreciation to everyone joining us, no matter where they are. We recognize your oneness in spirit and open our hearts and minds to your inspiration. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this beautiful morning possible. We trust that there are no coincidences and that everything happening today is for our highest good. In the name and through the power of Jesus, the living Christ. Amen. Okay, now I want to do something a little different. Instead of reading the daily word this morning, which is always wonderful, but I wanted to switch it a little bit, and I wanted to read the March affirmations. They're going to come up on the screen. We're just going to give Joe a moment. They're not.
I had them in my other video, sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
The string and I forgot that, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I was going to have you all read them with me, but that's all right. I'll read them for you. The March affirmations found on Unity website start with inner peace. In the stillness of this moment, I am peace. Understanding. One with divine mind, I realize infinite potential. Wholeness. All of divine life is present where I am. Prosperity. All that can be done can be in divine abundance. Oneness. I open my heart in oneness with all people. And I want to read for you, written by Reverend Elizabeth Longo. One of the greatest gifts we've been given is the ability to shift our perspective, even when life doesn't unfold as we hoped, prayed, or planned. We are not powerless. We can choose to see differently. I love that. Okay, now we will share the 5 unity principles. Yes? No? Maybe? Switch it up on me again, Joe. No. All right. If you could read with me the 5 unity principles. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good omnipotence. The Christ Spirit lives within me. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. I experience God's presence and power through prayer and meditation. I put my faith into action by demonstration. Okay, now let's take a moment, if we can take a moment, to say thank you to our tech team. We got our whole tech team here today. Thank you so much for everything that you do. We would be lost. We wouldn't have all of this without all of you. First, George Mulligano. Jackie Gerard. And Joe Joswiak. Thank you so much. And next, we are so blessed with our music today from the talented Rich Prezioso. Thank you so much.
Thank you. When I closed my eyes, I would not see. My Lord did trouble me. When I let things stand that should not be, my Lord did trouble me. When I held my head too high, too proud, my Lord did trouble me. When I raised my voice too little, too loud, my Lord did trouble me. Did trouble me with a word or sign, with the ringing of the bell in the back of my mind. Did trouble me, did stir my soul, for to make me human and make me whole. When I slept too long, slept too deep, my Lord did trouble me. I put a worrisome vision to my sleep. My Lord did trouble me. When I held myself away and apart, my Lord did trouble me. And the tears of my brother didn't move my heart. My Lord did trouble me. Did trouble me with a word or sign, with a ringing of the bell in the back of my mind. Did trouble me, did stir my soul, for to make me human and make me whole, make me human and make me whole. And of this I'm sure, of this I know, my Lord will trouble me. Whatever I do, wherever I go, my Lord will trouble me. In the whisper of the wind, in the rhythm of song, my Lord will trouble me. To put me on the path where I belong, my Lord will trouble me. Will trouble me with a word or sign, with the ringing of the bell in the back of my mind. Will trouble me, will stir my soul, for to make me human and make me whole, make me human and make me whole, make me human and make me whole, make me human and make me whole. When we sing together. Sorry about that. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always here. And every thought becomes a prayer. And every thought becomes a prayer.
And I found the sound. That was sort of like the opening words to the Bible somewhere, wasn't it? Just vaguely and unrelated. Good morning. Rich, that music was so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Your voice is so beautiful. It really just woke me up. And I'm not very
No, I
kind.
mean, like,
No, I'm not very kind.
It was 2:30, so okay.
That was you?
Yeah.
I saw you walking in. So, it's Palm Sunday. And I know that the usual style here is to start with a meditation. So we're going to have an original meditation, which is actually a poem called Palm Sunday, an Opening. It begins not with triumph, but with recognition. A figure on a path, a presence moving through the ordinary, and something in the field of being whispers, "This matters." Branches are lifted, not to praise a person, but to respond to what is felt before it's understood. A resonance, a knowing without language. The body recognizing what the mind has not yet named, and still within the welcome lives, and within the welcome lives the turning. Because what we celebrate, when we truly see, will always undo what we thought we were. Palm Sunday is not an arrival. It is the moment we say yes to what will change us before we know the cost, before we understand the opening. It's also a letting go. Feel it. Where something in you is being welcomed and something else is already being asked to fall away, not as loss, but as passage, not as ending, but as the quiet courage to remain open as everything unfolds. That was a new poem written by my life partner, Gillian Fleer. So, thank you for letting us open in with that. And as you sit here, let me suggest to just notice that what you just heard is not something to analyze, but something that may already be familiar. So feel for that as I feel for my cup of water, which is over here. And as I return to camera, while anyone may be chasing me with a camera, And by the way, thank you for introducing that book. That was my first book. So if you make it through that, there are at least 2 others, one written with Jillian. You know, as we spoke about the title, Transcending the Duality of Treatment into the Oneness of Healing, I think this is very key, and you're ready. Today the world is ready. I mean, as you know, in Unity, we speak of oneness, right? We speak of oneness, and not as a concept, but as a truth of being. So I want to explore what becomes possible when we take that truth we speak of and apply it in our lives, and specifically apply it to healing, although actually we don't need to apply it at all. Because to apply something, there has to be something, somewhere, to bring here, to apply, and there's not. Because you are already it, and it is in application. It's sort of like the lovely words we use, we don't always bring into consideration, such as we're all connected. We say we're all one, we're all connected. In a sense, bring yourself a visual model. If we're all connected, we're not one. It takes 2 or more to connect. We are already as one. It's funny, it plays with our words, because the idea of connection is so beautiful, but heightened in its perceived beauty when we don't recognize the unity that we all are. And then suddenly we realize we're reaching for something that we already are. Oneness. No need to connect. I can't connect with you unless you are someone other than someone else. And otherness here is not a concept of who we are. So, just to get a sense of who I'm sharing with, how many of you are actually already familiar with how reconnective healing came about, what's in the book, how this started, what Jillian calls the one strange night story? Show me your hands, because I'm really happy if no one here has their hand raised except Jillian. Good. Then I do not need to worry about taking you through something you've already heard, because there's a newness in it that's revealed, and it's within you. So, what we're talking about is not something that depends on readiness. You don't have to get ready for healing. You already are that. You don't have to get ready to become connected. We are already one. So, we'll start it with one strange night, although I never do. I had been a chiropractor, and somewhere in my 12th year of practice, a few strange things happened. And lots of details in the book, but we're not going to go into all of that right now. One night I went home from my office. As usual, I turned off the lights, I got into bed, went to sleep, and an hour later, I was awakened by a bright light. I thought, could someone have walked into my bedroom and just rudely flipped the light on without noticing that I was asleep? And I looked around, no one was there, and I knew no one was in my house. My bedroom door that was closed when I went to sleep was open, so that felt a little creepy. I got up, I searched for the largest knife I could find, and in my searching I also passed an old can of pepper spray from a self-defense course I had taken 15 years earlier, which was absolutely empty, but hoping that it looked intimidating, I carried the knife and the pepper spray, and my Doberman Pinscher was uncharacteristically behind me, pushing at my knees as I was quietly trying to walk down the stairs. It was a big old 1923 Spanish home with all the curving walkways and like 2 or 3 entrances into each room, and anyone could have been hiding anywhere if this were a movie, which it felt like. I looked and I looked and I looked, and after about 15, 20 minutes, which felt like hours, I realized that if someone were there, I would never find them. I might as well go back to sleep. I had patience the next day, you know. So I got back into bed and I went to turn the lamp off. That had turned itself on. I had that lamp for 10 years. It never turned itself on before, but there it was. And the knob wasn't rotated. You know that little brown plastic corrugated knob that's in every one of our lamps pretty much? Wasn't clicked on. And I knew immediately what clicked for me was, that wasn't me. I'm a little what terminology today would call OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. I'm so OCD that I'm still kind of, petitioning for it to be called CDO, because it should be alphabetical. But I thought to myself, well, whoever that was, if they let me wake up in the morning, they let me wake up, but I've got to go to bed. Well, that Monday morning, I went into my office, and my employees, without me having much conversation with anyone, were looking at me saying, "What happened to you over the weekend? What happened? You look so different. You sound so different." And I had a few strange things happen over the weekend, which we won't go into today, or we'll never leave here until afternoon. But I just thought, I'll just keep that to myself, and I went in to see my first patient. And I adjusted my patient, and I held my hands near him because I noticed I was feeling something interesting in my hands. Now, this is what's so timely about today's talk. It's Palm Sunday. So, as I felt the sensation, I noticed that this patient's eyes were moving, eyebrows, muscles, fingers a little bit, toes. Okay. When he opened his eyes, he said, "Who walked into the room while I was lying here?" I said, "No one." "Why?" He said, "No, the person who stood at the door." I said, "No one was there." He said, "I felt them." "No." "I heard them." "No." "Okay." Went in to see the next, and you could tell that he didn't believe me. But I went, all right. I went in to see the next patient. When I finished adjusting her, she opened her eyes. She said, "Who walked into the room while I was lying here?" I said, "No one." "Why?" "The person at the door." "No one was at the door." "I heard them." "No, I felt them." "No." Well, this was my 12th year in practice. No one had ever said that to me before. And on this day, seven different patients insisted that someone stood at the doorway, walked into the room, walked around them while they were lying on the adjusting table, and 2 of them actually looked at me a little bit sheepishly embarrassed and said, I felt like someone was flying around the ceiling. Now, you would think that would have gotten my attention. And it did. But other things were getting my attention that day. That was when my first patient of that morning got up and left the office after his adjustment without his wheelchair. Why do I remember that? Because I was one of the only chiropractors you may come across who had a 1-story walk up to the office, which I liked it so much I didn't even think about that when I took the office. People would have to walk up the stairs, but so we would help carry people up, and he walked down. A few other patients started saying that while they were lying on the tables, they were seeing colors they'd never seen, smelling flowers they had never smelled, feeling where my hands were. parents of younger patients started calling during that week, talking about how their cerebral palsy or epilepsy didn't seem to be happening. They didn't need their meds. They were able to walk and run and play. And this was a beginning. There is no one beginning. There isn't. This was a beginning. Because what allowed me to bring my hands near someone was I had already started noticing something. See, this is the part, oh, I can do this, right? I can step over here. This is the part where I can't stand behind this podium. It was just a month or two before this, maybe less, maybe weeks, where I had had a patient come in and I watched him because I could see out the window coming up the stairs, and it was a struggle. He was really struggling to get up the stairs, a young kid, like 26. When he got up, I saw that the difficulty for him to walk was that when he was born, his right hip was about 4 inches shorter than left, and it rotated in, and it caused him to keep his balance, to lean forward and have one foot on top of the other. So for him to take a step, I can't even do it exactly the way he did, but somehow he maneuvered over to get his arm, get one leg to swing in a half circle, and then he'd come back and land. And that was each step of his walking. So he came in to see me as a chiropractor because he had back pain. You would too, we walk like that, right? But so much so that he was on meds for them and treatments, and he brought in his x-rays and showed me the way his bones were shifted. And so I said, all right, come in and we'll give you an adjustment. And I had him lie down on the chiropractic table, and he was on his back. But even lying down, you would think that, if these were his feet, they would just fall naturally to the sides like yours do. But even lying down, because of the rotation, the right foot twisted and rested on top. I'm in my chiropractic mind thinking, what do I do for this? Because now I've bought into the limitation because I looked at the x-rays and paid attention to them. That's what you're supposed to do as a chiropractor. I don't know that we're supposed to do that as healers, and don't dare look at me as if I'm the healer, because it's no different than who you are, I promise. If you think there's one special healer somewhere on this planet who lives in a cave in a mountaintop in Tibet that you may want to see if you ever have a problem, think again. That healer is looking right back to you every morning as you brush your teeth, I found this out. I wouldn't have believed it otherwise. But I'm standing there looking how I'm going to begin this adjustment, and for some reason, I decided to just feel that sensation in my hand. So here's his head, there his feet, and I'm feeling the sensation. I'm seeing a little movement in his fingers, and I'm drawn to walk down to his feet. So here, in your visual, I just flipped it around. Now I'm standing at his feet. The soles of his feet are towards me. I remember, I can feel this. My memory, I can feel this. I let my hands drop down. And I felt a sensation as if my hands were suspended by this ethereal elastic band, one attached to his right sole, to my left palm, and from his left sole of his foot, to my right, whatever it is. Right and left may be back and forth, but whatever. And I could feel them supporting my palms. And as I let go, keywords, as I let go, in more ways than one. I saw his feet start to come to life. The foot that was on top started to rotate outward and back. It was like the way your foot will sort of pump the accelerator in a car. Started pumping, rotating outward and back and outward, again and back, and settled back into that locked position. So I walked around by his right hip, rested my hands there. And the foot started that pumping thing again, out to the right, back to the left on top of that foot, out to the right, back to the left, out to the right, and it stayed there. And I watched, and I watched. And I said, Gary, because that was his name. I wasn't going to call him a random name. I said, Gary. I touched him lightly here. I said, I think we're finished. You can stand up if you want. And he stood up for the first time in his 26 years. From this, straight, 2 independent legs, 6 feet tall. That was when I realized, when I recognized, when it was revealed to me that something real was happening. Gary drove home that night. He lived in what we called the valley. We were in Los Angeles. He had to drive over the hill and down to the valley. At the peak of the hill, it was a heavy rain. He said, and he had to pull the car off the road because he was just crying. He couldn't even drive. It's funny. 33 years later, this story, I still can't tell it straight without emotion. And it looked like, and it felt like, believe me, I'm skipping so much I could color in here, but I can't with our time. Like something came in from somewhere. That's the way we view things, you know? Duality, time, distance, space. We listen to science today finally coming about, recognizing there's no such thing as time. There's no such thing as space. And our minds go, yeah, but my clock works, my calendars work. Because they're aspects of something that is infinite, that is timeless. Maybe that's how I can share this story this way. It's timeless. I'm in it right now as I share this. And so word started to get out. People would call me and say, what did you do? And I'd say nothing and don't tell anyone. Well, haha, you know how well that went over. And then people would say, well, you should teach this. And I said, teach it? And I said, I'm standing here waving my hands in the air looking like an idiot. Why don't you go outside and try it? Let me know what your neighbors say about you. But more and more came about, and teaching it. I didn't know how it was happening. In retrospect, that was the greatest gift. My mind didn't have anything to pretend that it understood and grasp onto to inhibit the healings. I did finally agree to teach a small class of 25 people in an adult education course how to do this without knowing how I was going to teach them. So for 2 days prior, I started writing myself notes of what I should say. While I was driving in the car, I was adding to the notes. Just to make it a little trickier, I had a convertible because it was Southern California, and I was trying to hold on for fear that the notes would fly out the roof. But anyway, I got there, I walked into the room, I carried my massage table to open it up to demonstrate on, and I looked at my notes, and I looked at the people, and I looked at my notes, and I looked at the people, not in an attempt to be dramatic, but I really physically threw them away. I knew I couldn't get anywhere with it. I said, how am I going to do this? I guess I'll share the story of how it started. I'll let the people feel it in their hands. So I had the first person lie down on the massage table after they felt it and bring one person over to feel it there, and their body started to respond. And then the next, and then the next. We talked, we shared how to feel it, become more aware of it more clearly. And let's just say that after that class, I unleashed 25 new healers onto an unsuspecting planet. My phones rang so much that I had to get, just to remind you of a time frame, how long ago this was, that I had to get my very first computer. And everything went on from there. I can tell you what science says reconnective healing is. I can tell you about the studies. I can share questions and answers and concepts. But words are form. They tell you what this feels like, its temperature, its shape, its taste. But what we're talking about here is formless. God, love, infinite intelligence, that great watermelon in the sky. Call it Christ consciousness, call it Buddha, call it what you will. It's formless. Even our words are form. So we do our best to describe it with words, but I can't get all the way up to it with words. At one point, we have to let the words go. So I'm going to invite you to let the words go for a moment. Okay? Here's how we're going to do that. Excuse me. When my eyes run, my nose joins. If you can, as you can, just sort of allow your hands to drop to your sides for a moment. Now, if you can, and you might need to scoot further in your seat, I'm not sure. Of course, they're church pews, so you can't scoot too much further. You end up kneeling. Notice the position your hands fall into. Notice the position my hands fallen into. It's just fingers are naturally separated. There's a little bit of a curve. You can leave your eyes open for this, okay? Because closing our eyes is an attempt to make something more than what it is. Leave your eyes open and let's recognize that maybe we're playing with the infinite. And you can't really add to the infinite, can you? So allow your hands to fall and just feel. What do your palms feel like? If you want, you can slightly open the fingers a little so you can sort of notice how when you slightly spread the fingers, you feel a little more tension, let's call it, raised recognition of sensitivity in your palms as you stretch the skin. But then just let it fall, okay? Notice what you feel. You don't need to assign what it is, because it's easy to go, oh, I feel a coolness. I think it could be from the fans. I feel this. It could be blood circulation or nerves. Who cares what it is? That's not what's important. The meaning we assign to it is simply something to obscure, to hide the recognition behind. So just feel. Now, slowly bringing your hands up a little bit like this, sort of palm facing palm, okay? Maybe 10, 12 inches apart, if you'd like. Now let's take our right hand, just your right hand. Well, first, while your hands are here, imagine that there's that ethereal elastic band connecting your two palms, okay? Now, we've all played with pushing and feeling pressure. We can do that. We're going to move beyond that. Imagine that band. Relax your shoulders. Let your elbows relax. Don't push them against your side. Just let them be. And take your right hand and sort of move it in a slow circular pattern. Notice how the sensation in your left palm may start to move with the movement of your right. If you can allow yourself to feel that, reverse slowly the direction that your right hand is moving in. And notice that the sensation in your left palm may reverse itself. Now hold your hand still. Imagine that etheric rubber band, again, that huge one. And stretch it. See if you can feel a pull as if one end is attached to your right palm and one to your left. And then again, move one hand. Notice how it affects the other. Slowly. And then reverse it. So let's start here. How many of you felt a sensation in one hand or the other? Give me a clue. Good. How many of you felt the sensation in one palm change when you reversed the direction of the other hand? Okay? Now, let's try something else odd. Because of movement and camera, Tina, can I borrow you for 1 sec? Come over here. Here's what I'd like you to do. Take your left hand, just so the camera can see. Open your fingers like that for me. Okay? Now, watch the finger and hold your hands perfectly still. Hold your fingers still. And when I do this, I'm not sending energy. You can't. You can't send something to yourself unless you go to the post office and it's Sunday, so it's closed today anyway. So if we're all one, all I can do is receive. My receiving becomes yours. Open your fingers a little wider. Now, do you see the movement in your fingers? You do? Okay. So I'm going to pull further away. Maybe that'll affect that. Maybe that'll stop that, huh? So you hold your fingers really still. Come on, Tina, you can do it. Hold them still. Can you hold your fingers still? I guess that laugh says, no, you're trying. I know. What do you feel? What do you notice when we're playing like this? If anything.
Nothing super strong, but definitely like I don't have, it's moving, like I don't have.
Nothing super strong, but it's moving. You don't have control over that. The question I usually say is, are you moving your fingers or are your fingers moving themselves? I already know the answer. They're moving themselves.
Yeah.
Why? What is happening here? We're just experiencing, oh, I don't know, let me come up with a good word for this. Unity, oneness, and there's a communication when we allow ourselves to be in recognition of who and what we are. It knows where to go and what to do. It knows where to go. God, infinite intelligence, knows where to go and what to do. What's the first thing a lot of us do if we're facilitating healings? We walk outside or look up at the sky because God's got to be somewhere else. We can't be one with God, right? This has got to be up there. And then we tell it where to go and what to do. I'm going to put the energy over here because this needs to relax because our hands need to change here and it could be affecting that. And God said, oh, thank you so much for helping me. I never could have figured that out on my own. Thanks. Have a seat. And that's us holding on to control. When Gary came in to my office, that first patient with a twisted leg, All I did was feel. I didn't say, need to send the healing to the hip, need to send it to the foot, got onto it. I played with the area at first to discover. Truth is, when the healing, the less you know about why the other person thinks that they're in for the healing, the better off you both are. Because the less likely I am to impose my limited conscious human educated mind thoughts on this. So let's play. Ready? Here's what I'd like you to do. Take maybe your left hand, open the fingers, hold them right in front of you like that. Okay? You can even watch your palm if you want to. And then with me, I'm going to bring my right hand up here, just up a little higher. I'm going to watch my left hand, okay? Notice the sensation, notice whatever feeling you have. Don't worry about what you think is causing it, just notice it. Slide down a little bit. And observe the fingers in your left hand. Come back up a little bit. Keep the fingers of your left hand as still and as spread apart as you can, but focus your attention on sensation of what's in your right palm. Sunday. What's in your right palm? What do you feel? Move it around a little. Can you stretch that sensation? What happens when you take the fingers of your right hand, just let them move a little bit like this while you're watching your left hand? Can you notice how when you pull it away, although you think the sensation should get weaker, actually past a certain point it sort of intensifies? So, quick showing. Raise your hands if you felt something in your other hand. Let's start with that. Good. Most everyone. Nothing is 100%. Believe me, you'll discover soon enough. Raise your hand if you noticed a little bit of movement in the fingers of your other hand as you did this. Raise your hands up high. There's a reason I'm asking you to raise your hands up high, because I want those of you who aren't sure yet to look around the room and see how many hands are raised. The idea is there's a truth that's going on here somewhere, but we are all at various points until that truth is recognized, becomes a felt reality. This knowingness is affecting us in different ways. You don't have my view. I can see when someone starts to rock with it. I can see when someone's head starts to move with it. If you were here, you would see that. Now, if you're feeling so inclined, I'm not worried about looking like the weird neighbor or uncle or aunt. You might want to play a little bit. You might want to have a friend say, come on over, I went to this kind of ridiculous thing at my Unity meeting, but I just want to see something. Do you mind? I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to ask you, just lie down on the sofa or the foot of the bed somewhere, and close your eyes. I promise not to touch you. You need to say, I promise not to touch you. Otherwise, they're worried you're going to go, ah, and tickle them. Okay? I promise not to touch you. And you stand by their head and let their eyes be closed. And you come back to this feeling. Bring your hands up. Feel. Keep your eyes on their closed eyes. Notice the sensation in your hands where you feel it stronger, where it starts to change. Play with your fingers a little bit and watch how it will start, because it will, to affect their eyes. You may start to notice movement in their face. Stay with the feeling, just the feeling. That is a felt recognition of something. Don't worry about what. You may start to see their fingers move. or something else. You may not notice anything, but then afterwards you can say, okay, we're done now. That's all I said. Those few words. Okay, we're done. Now, what was that, 4 words? 5, if you want to spell we're out. We are done now. And they're going to say to you, what was that? Wouldn't that be your normal response? What was that? What were you doing? This is the answer I suggest you give. Tell me what you noticed. Tell me what you're aware of. No, but what was that? First, tell me what you noticed. Let them tell you. Because that brings both them and you into a recognition of reality. You didn't put it in their heads in advance. You didn't put it into their minds. They're going to share. What are they probably going to say? Well, I felt a little bit of a sensation somewhere. Oh, can you describe it? Why do you ask them to describe it? Helps them move into the recognition of it, which makes it very real, very recognizable for them. I saw these colors, usually, and I'll say, what colors? Helps them share with you, but usually the colors will be kind of a purple, a blue, sometimes a green, and a gold. Oh, really? What did that look like? Well, it's a shape, really. And the colors seem to move and have a light behind them. Let them describe. Don't ask them what if. Because this is them actually helping you step into a felt knowingness that there isn't some healer out there you need to contact. You're it. There isn't an infinite intelligence that needs direction from you. You are God. You are love. You are this knowingness. And it is simply shared not by sending. So all I did with Tina was I let myself feel. All you did with your own hands was you let yourself feel. If we had more time or we're having a seminar somewhere, we would be on massage tables or in chairs working with partners, moving around, shifting again, and you would see and feel and experience this knowingness. And here's what I always tell everyone when they leave a training program, a seminar, whatever you want to call it, an experience. By the end of that weekend or 3 days, whatever, you'll be able to facilitate any level of healing. Not just that I can, that any human being anywhere on this planet can. Anyone is able to. And I will even say, no matter what time period they lived in. Because, I don't know, there's a statement somewhere, I'm paraphrasing it, you let me know if you know who the author is. These things that I do, you shall do. What follows that? And more. God, that pisses people off. How many churches are arguing over who can facilitate healing? Some of them teach healing. Some of them say no one but Jesus can. Some of them say it has to come in the name of. But if you're dressing it up or hiding it behind the words of, then believe the words of. These things that I do, meaning infinite I, you will do and more. Okay, I'll say the one last thing that'll challenge us to pull it together, because I've got no idea of the time, and I probably should be over by now. Is anyone telling me? Yeah. So let me tie this up and we'll be over. The healing is real. It has nothing to do with faith, hope, or belief. They're pretty words, but it has nothing to do with faith, hope, or belief. Do you believe you're wearing your clothes, or do you know it? Do you have faith you're wearing the clothes you came in with, or do you know it? Do you hope you are, or we all hope you are? Or do we know it? So we're going to step beyond The purpose of faith is to bring you to a point where you become that felt knowingness. That's the healer that you are. And now I'm going to do the most difficult thing possible for me. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to say thank you very much for coming to listen. And if you want to find us, go to reconnectivehealing.com or look up our names, or here we are. But thanks so much. I really haven't spoken locally for I don't know how long, and it's a pleasure.
Let's sing. I know you know this one. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Let's do it again. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of those bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, and nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. One more. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day.
That I'm fascinated now. Okay, I gotta say again, book number 1, I'm diving right in. Yep. Oh, okay. Well, it's that time of our service to collect and accept your tithes and donations. If you would please go ahead and take out your gift. If you are online, you can go to our webpage, unitywoodstock.org, and click on the Joy of Giving tab. Here at Unity Spiritual Center of Woodstock, we are self-supporting. All your donations directly support the talks, classes, and events that we facilitate. If you are in the sanctuary with us, please take out your gift and place it in your hands as we bless your gift here. Those of you online, please hold your gift in your heart we will acknowledge these blessings with a short prayer. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Amen. Okay, and if you could warm up those hands for these gifts and all your givers, we say together, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Okay. Unity Spiritual Center ministry is based on prayer. You're invited to fill out a prayer request right over here in the corner, where your prayer will be prayed upon for 30 days, and by our prayer team and by the Silent Unity prayer team. If you would like a confidential affirmation and prayer, you can meet with our prayer chaplain, Jackie. Thank you. We also have in the back of the sanctuary, right under the beautiful window of Jesus, some memory candles. You're invited to light a memory candle for anything really. That's in you. Whatever you would like to think about, to pray about, to acknowledge in your life. Once you light a candle, we will continue to light that candle every Sunday until it burns out. All we ask is that you put a $2 donation down into the receptacle underneath so that we can replace the candles. Okay, now we have some announcements. All right. Sunday, April 12th. It's a new member. Opportunity to become a new member. An intro into Unity. You can register at unitywoodstock.com or talk to Kim. Kim is here. On Thursday, April 16th is the men's group. If you're connected with that, they will let you know the location and be in touch. If you would like to be connected with that, please see Joe. Okay. Friday, April 17th is the Spiritual Bookshelf book study. The book right now being studied is Reclaiming Your Inner Child, and that book study meets Friday night at 6:30. April 17th, it's duplicated. I'm just going to read it again. April 25th is our Petapalooza. Boy, that's coming up fast, isn't it? Wow, I can't believe that's coming up so quickly. It's a free event that, is this our second year, right? Yeah. Featuring animal rescues and pet adoptions. Really a wonderful event we had last year. Went over really well. We'll have pet products, services, raffles, blessings. Bring your family and friends. If you'd like to volunteer for that event, please see Joe. Calling all singers. Lori is looking for singers for the Easter choir to perform on Sunday, April 5th, next week. Rehearsal is going to be on Saturday morning, the 4th. Talk to Lori if you need more information. Our youth ministry team would love to meet with anyone who may be interested in assisting. Please see Maria if you would like to assist in youth ministry. Fellowship ministry is looking for help. Our hospitality team, Karen Peterson. Karen's not here today. You can talk to me if you're interested in being involved. We would love to have you. Recycling Sunday, first Sunday of every month. Our youth ministry meets on the first and third Sunday of every month. Christ Mind Study, second and fourth Saturdays, in Power and on Zoom. If you can't make it in person for that class, you can do it on Zoom. Sunday service, the fourth Sunday of every month, is our Fun Day Sunday. We meet in fellowship. It's a monthly potluck. Always lots of food, always lots of fun. The USCW board meeting, fourth Tuesday of every month. I think we covered all of our announcements.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, you can.
I just want to be an appreciation for one of the greatest gifts here that you already know of, but I've just been recently introduced to. Kim, thank you so much for allowing me to come share here. It's such a pleasure, and thank you for everything you're doing with this church. I really appreciate that, so I just want to say thank you.
I second that. We love you, Kim. Okay. Shall we stand now and finish with our prayer for protection and our peace song? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Amen.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Coffee and treats and fellowship. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of those bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.